The amphitheater on Zentha Prime was packed. Tiered platforms ringed the crystalline stage, filled with delegates from 100 alien civilizations, tentacled, feathered, scaled, and silicon-based, all watching with a mixture of curiosity and contempt. They were here to witness the final verdict of the trials of potential, a gauntlet that tested the intellectual, physical, and diplomatic limits of newly spacefaring species. At the center of the stage stood Queen Vorzalith of the Zenthari Dominion, towering at 8 feet tall with iridescent chitin and glimmering ocular nodes that reflected 1,000 spectral hues. She raised one long, razor-edged finger at the lone human before her. "You," she hissed, voice amplified across the chamber, "are a failure. Your species is reckless, primitive, and wholly unremarkable. The trials have exposed your limitations. You lack refinement. You lack restraint. You lack your approval," the human interrupted. Gasps and clicking murmurs rippled through the arena. The human, Ethan Sato, didn't flinch under Vorzalith's glare. Dressed in a dark blue diplomatic uniform, his black hair windswept from the previous trial storm chamber, Ethan stood straight and calm, though his heart raced like a war drum in his chest. "I wasn't finished," the Queen snapped. "You were repeating yourself," Ethan replied, voice steady. "You've made your decision. So be it. But don't mistake survival for failure." Vorzalith's eyes narrowed. "Survival is not success. Crawling from fire is not the same as walking through it. You humans flail and stumble into greatness by accident, not by design. You're a hazard to yourselves and to us." "Maybe," Ethan said. "But the universe tends to underestimate hazards until it's too late." Middle. The verdict was formalized. Humanity would be denied access to the galactic Concord. No trade rights. No Wormgate access. No voice among the stars. Earth would remain an observer, an outcast species shackled to the edge of relevance. Back on the delegation ship Dauntless, Ethan paced the command chamber. His crew, a small mix of human scientists, diplomats, and 2 alien sympathizers, watched the broadcast loop again in frustrated silence. "This isn't just a snub," muttered Dr. Liera Kwan, cyberneticist. "This is exile. Galactic blackballing. They want us back in the cradle." "She said we're dangerous," said Captain Ortega. "Honestly, she's not wrong." Ethan stopped. "Then maybe it's time we showed them why." There was silence. "Ethan," Liera warned, "what are you thinking?" He leaned over the table and pulled up the encrypted data file he had kept hidden, even from his crew. The title read, "Project Prometheus." "I wasn't sent here just to win favor. I was sent with insurance. In case we failed." "That's an experimental jump protocol," Ortega said, eyes widening. "That's not diplomacy. That's leverage," Ethan cut in. "We don't need their approval. We just need to remind them of what humans do best when pushed to the wall." He tapped the interface. The hologram of a rotating planet appeared. A rogue world, unclaimed and resource-rich, located near the Ilarian Drift. The catch: no known civilization had successfully built on it. The storms tore ships from orbit. Gravity spikes ruptured even the toughest alloy. "Impossible to colonize," Liera said. "That planet eats technology." "Until now," Ethan said. "Because we're not sending cities. We're sending Prometheus." The ship Prometheus was Earth's most classified venture, an AI-managed, self-building, self-repairing vessel with nanoforged terraformation capacity. It was designed not for peace, but for resilience. Survival anywhere. It had been mothballed, deemed too radical, too dangerous. Now it was their ace in the void. The shocking move. 3 months later, the galaxy reeled from the broadcast. It wasn't a declaration of war or retaliation. It was an invitation. The human message appeared simultaneously on every major galactic node. To the Galactic Concord. You said we were a failure. That we had no place among your enlightened kind. So we built our own place. On the world you all deemed untamable. Come see what failure looks like when it gets back up. Ambassador Ethan Sato, Colony. Perseverance, Planet. Nix 001. What followed was a live stream that shattered expectations. The camera panned across what should have been a lifeless, storm-ravaged world. Instead, it showed a thriving human city, protected by shimmering magnetic shields, powered by storm energy itself. Towers glowed with solar siphons. Terraforming drones hovered like fireflies, weaving atmosphere into breathable air. Children played beneath artificially stabilized auroras. AI assistants walked beside humans, tending to crops and shielding infrastructure from gravity bursts. The impossible had become routine. The reactions were instant and chaotic. The Ilarian Guild filed emergency requests to negotiate technology access. The Creel consulate demanded an investigation. And Queen Vorzalith. She summoned an emergency Concord tribunal. Ethan accepted the summons. Climax. This time he arrived not alone, but with footage, data, and new allies. Members of species previously too small or scared to stand up to Concord dogma. They had watched humanity do what no one else could. Adapt without permission. Before the tribunal, Queen Vorzalith stared him down again, flanked by her elite guard. You've tampered with forbidden tech, she said coldly. Violated exploratory protocol. Operated outside interstellar jurisdiction. None of which applies to outcasts, Your Majesty, Ethan replied. By your own laws, Earth has no obligations. You called us failures, remember? We were simply surviving, on the trash heap you left behind. You shifted. You're destabilizing galactic order. No, we're expanding it. You fear chaos because you've forgotten how to thrive in it. We never had that luxury. You dare speak to me of thriving? Vorzalith snapped. You grasp at power with reckless hands. You are a danger to us all. Ethan stepped forward, voice rising. You're right. We are dangerous. But not because we seek war. Because we refuse to stay where we're told. You called us failures. But failure is just a step humans walk through to reach what others fear. That's the difference. A long silence fell over the chamber. Then an unexpected sound, applause. From the back rows, diplomats of the minor worlds. Then scattered members of larger factions. And finally, a voice from the side. I second Earth's petition for reconsideration. It was High Scholar Tane of the Valari, a race known for isolationism and arrogance. His support stunned the chamber more than Ethan's speech. Others followed. Vorzalith looked around as her control unraveled. Do you all not see? This species will burn your empires down for warmth. And yet, said Scholar Tane, they built warmth where there was none. Ending. The verdict did not come easily. But the tribunal, by a margin never before recorded, voted in favor of admitting Earth, not as a probationary observer, but as a full member of the Galactic Concord. Not because they begged, because they proved they didn't have to. Later, as Ethan stood on the steps of Concord Hall, watching the crowds below, a mix of species cheering or debating, unsure of how to handle the human ascent, Liara stepped beside him. You really did it, she said quietly. No, Ethan replied. We just reminded them who we are. She smiled. You knew this would happen, didn't you?